Hey there, I hope everybody is doing great. June is upon us. Summer vacations are getting into full swing. I've got several friends that are traveling right now and more trips planned from other people I know in the next couple of weeks and couple of months. So summer is here and it's upon us. It's great this year because things are kind of getting back to normal with regards to life in general. Restrictions are being lifted. The airports are packed. Was in Denver a couple of weeks ago. Flight was full. Airports were packed. Everything kind of returned to life, which is awesome to see. And what hasn't changed from last month is the real estate market. So I'd love to tell you that this month there's been some major change that's going to benefit specifically home buyers in this case, because the market is absolutely awesome if you are a seller right now, but that isn't the case. And we're going to get into the details here in just a minute. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty, and bringing you another edition of my monthly market report where we kind of take a deep dive into what's going on in the market, look at some of the national trends and numbers, and then talk about how that relates to us here in our local markets. And like I just mentioned, it's pretty much business as usual. If you happen to see the May market report that I did, for anyone that's been paying attention, you'll know that inventory is non-existent, buyer demand is really high, home prices are escalating at a phenomenal rate. So it leads to a lot of questions. Buyers start wondering, hey, should I give up? Should I just forget it? I'm just going to continue renting. I can't deal with the madness anymore. And then you've got sellers on the other side. They're saying, we've been thinking about selling, but the way things are, if I put my house on the market and sell, where am I going to go? Right? There's nothing to move to. So you've kind of got this rub, if you like, this big imbalance in the market right now. So I want to give you just a couple of ideas or show you a couple of slides here that kind of really give a great example of where we're at. So let me share my screen quickly for you. Here we go. All right. So we already know it's the market update, so we can skip right through this. So this slide here is produced by NAR, and what this slide is taking a look at, and it kind of shows a perfect example of what I was just talking about. This is showing buyer traffic across the country. So the darker the blue, it means buyer traffic is strong. So as you can see, virtually the entire nation has very strong buyer traffic. Even in the states that don't have very strong, they're all in strong. Minnesota, South Dakota, Utah, Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, etc. So that's where we are with regards to buyer traffic. On the flip side, here's seller traffic. And in this particular case, seller traffic is referring to the number of sellers in the marketplace, the number of listings that are out there. And again, I'm not seeing a whole lot of dark blue, except for West Virginia. So I'm not sure what's going on in West Virginia. But you can see that the vast majority of the country is in gray. And the darker the gray, the weaker the seller traffic. So we've got very weak seller traffic through Arkansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, Montana, Indiana, with the majority of the country being weak. And that's basically saying that there's not enough sellers in those markets. Now, the interesting thing is you're starting to see stable seller traffic in some of the other states, California, Nevada, Washington, Florida, just to name a few there. So what's going on here? This slide kind of, when you compare it to the other slide, kind of gives a great snapshot of where we're at. What we're seeing right now is high demand and high mobility in people moving across the country. So as I've been telling people here locally in North Texas, it's not just a Texas issue, it's an Arizona issue. I'm seeing it still in Southern California, where my team's also based, even though we're showing stable with seller traffic there. You've got a lot of migration. Some of that is happening due to COVID fallout, if you like. And the shift in work, people being able to work more remotely, more often, or continually, has made a shift. I know in Hawaii right now they're showing stable, but I also know that there's been a large influx of people into the islands of Hawaii from Northern California, especially in the tech sector, because they can work remotely. Okay, you've also got a lot of the high dollar areas. Take a look at somewhere like California. California's got a lot of people moving out. Where are they going? They're going to Texas. They're going to Alabama. They're going to Georgia. They're going to Tennessee. You've got a lot of influx. So they're bringing high value money with them from the properties that they've sold into these other markets, right? So that's what you're seeing generally across the country. And when you've got really high buyer demand, like I just showed, and relatively weak seller activity, what does it mean? Well, it's going to come as no surprise to anyone. It means prices go up. So what does that look like? Well, here's where what we have seen in the first quarter of 2021, I should say there, that what we saw. So on average in the United States, we saw 12.6% appreciation. It's broken down by region here. So you can take a look at the chart and see the region that you're most interested in. But with that in mind, it's obvious, remember that all real estate is local. I mean, it's showing the United States has an average of 12.6% overall. It's showing West South Central at 11.1%. Well, in the Frisco and Prosper markets where I'm working in North Texas, year over year, by in quarter one of this year, we were seeing 18, 19, 20, 21%, right? So it all depends on where you are. So it's going to be very, very localized with regards to that actual pace of appreciation. I would like to say, just kind of keep in mind when we look at this and everyone's saying, hey, these numbers are not sustainable. I know, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But when you actually look back at the pricing trends, this, even though it seems like forever, this big upswing in appreciation didn't actually start really until the end of the year, right? We saw price appreciation last year without a doubt. So we did have appreciation in July, August, September last year, but this crazy multiple offer bidding wars, prices running way above the list price, that hasn't been going on for more than the last 4 or 5 months now. It hasn't, not in every market. Some started sooner, but not in every market. Even when I was in the MLS, the multiple listing service, looking at some pricing reports earlier today, I was looking at sales from January. And in January, we didn't see this, at least not in North Texas. We did see it to a certain extent, starting late January, February in parts of Southern California. It started to creep in other areas, but it seems like it's been going on forever. So just a point with regards to that, we know that when there's high demand and there's low supply, we're definitely going to start to see these prices jump, and it's having a huge impact on inventory. It's raising a lot of questions with regards to a bubble. It's something that repeatedly comes up. I did a video on this just a few weeks ago. I've said we're not in a bubble. We have a supply and demand problem, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're in a bubble. I know some people disagree with that, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I'm just trying to look at the facts, right? What do the actual data show us? As everything I'm trying to bring to you is data driven. As a matter of fact, here's what we've got from Morgan Stanley. Right, we have a strong conviction that we are not experiencing a bubble in US housing. We are not at all suggesting that home price appreciation will maintain its current torrid pace. Home prices will continue to rise, but more gradually. And I agree with that completely. We are going to see more inventory come onto the market in the latter half of this year. It hasn't happened quite as quickly as we expected to see it. And as a result, home prices have continued to move as, appreciation at a stronger clip than originally anticipated. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are in a bubble. I'm going to stop sharing. Oops. And there's just a slide I put here that, the vast majority of Americans, according to a Gallup poll, still show that real estate is by far the best long-term investment over stocks, gold, or savings accounts. I'm going to stop the screen share for just a minute. There we go. So, with that in mind, what does all this mean, right? I mean, these insights here are basically just to try and give you a snapshot of what is happening. But if we look at that inventory again, on a national basis, inventory has gone up 3 months in a row, currently sitting at about a 2.4 month supply. But it's important with that to keep in mind that 6 months is considered a balanced supply. Now, here in North Texas, I'd like to tell you that inventory is on the rise, but it's actually fairly flat. It has gone up a little. When I say a little, I mean a little. Both in Prosper and Frisco, we currently have zero point 0.8 months worth of supply. 0.8. That's up from zero point 0.5. So we've added about a week worth of inventory. Not enough to make a dent in anything. To give you an idea as a comparison, something to measure this against, if I go back 2 years to June of 2019, both Frisco and Prosper had roughly 5 months worth of supply. All right, so from 5 months down to less than a month. So as a result of that, it should be no surprise that prices are continuing to rise. As a matter of fact, the median sales price in Frisco in May was 541,000, and in Prosper, it had jumped up to 645,000. So substantial price increases that we have seen. But for anyone out there shopping, you already know this. Right, so the number of homes for sale is just not there. It's just a further example of the supply problem that we're seeing. Homes for sale in Frisco in May was 249. To give you an idea, even last year, after the lockdowns and after people pulling their homes off the market, even May of last year had 774 homes for sale in Frisco, 249 this year. 83 in Prosper in May of this year, 312 last year. And we're seeing that not just in these markets, but we're also seeing it in the Southern California markets where we operate. People I work directly with in Minnesota are saying the same thing. Florida, Arizona, we're all reporting the exact same thing. So, what does all this mean to you? So, if you're a buyer, what should you do? Right? My recommendation is you need to do what's best for you. That's the most important thing overall. Prices are not going to go down in the next 12 to 24 months, in my opinion. There's nothing there unless something unforeseen happens that's going to bring prices down. So if you're waiting to buy until prices come down, then you might be waiting a really long time. Not only that, interest rates can't stay at historic lows. They are going to creep up. And one thing to keep in mind, a 1% rise in interest rates decreases your purchasing ability by 10%. So let's say as we sit today, you're pre-approved for a $500,000 purchase. If interest rates rise 1%, your income stays the same. All other factors, just the interest rate going up 1%, you're now only pre-approved for 450, right? So that can create a problem. So if you're looking at things saying, well, I'm going to wait until things become more affordable, what you're going to find is things are going to get less affordable as they go forward. And if you're a seller, that's a great question. What should you do if you're planning on selling? I think it depends why you're selling. If it's a sale that you want to do rather than something that you have to do, then it really depends what that want is. Obviously, if you have to sell, then you have to sell and you're in an absolutely fantastic position to do it. If you want to do that, really it depends on what it is that you're looking at. If you're in a larger home, an expensive home, and you're looking to downsize and stay in the area, you can probably afford to sit and wait it out for a while. Your house is going up faster than the house that you're looking to buy. On the inverse of that, if you're in a smaller home, say you're in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and you'd like to jump up to a 5 bedroom, 3 bath, or 5-4, the longer you wait, the more expensive your follow on purchase becomes. So here's what I mean. Let's say the house you currently live in is worth 350,000, right? And the house you're looking to buy is 600,000. If the market goes up another 10% in the next 12 months, your 350 house is at 385, right? There's a 10% increase. Whereas the $600,000 house is going to be 660. You actually fell a little bit further behind. So it really depends. And everyone's situation is unique and everyone's situation is different. So really, that's why I say only you can make the decision that's best for you. If, on the other hand, you own a home and you're thinking of selling and cashing out and waiting for the market to go down to rebuy, I look long and hard at that decision because I don't think it's going to work out the way that you want it to, at least in the next 12 to 24 months. If you're comfortable renting for a longer period of time, that's fine. But rents are expensive as well, and this market is going to continue to go up. And that's just not just my opinion. That's what most of the leading financial institutions and wealth management companies are saying as well. So hopefully that helps, gives you a little bit of a updated snapshot into where we are in the current market. I'll be back right around the 11th, 12th of July to provide the next market update. So keep your eyes open for that. And as always, if you want to get updates that I put out more frequently, please go ahead, subscribe to this YouTube channel, click the little bell to be notified when I publish something, and or check in the description below. There's a link to my blog where I also include additional information and articles so that you can always be informed to make the best decision that's right for you and your family. Stay cool out there, enjoy your summer, and we'll catch up with you soon.